process for the first person. I didn't have a process.
You know, okay, you've got an education, here's a patient, go test them.
There wasn't much of any training that happened.
Here's the phone, here's the hold button, here's the appointment book. These are the sorts of appointments we schedule here. It was pretty basic training.
It was basically I went in and the one girl was leaving the next day and I was going to be on my own and that was it.
I was taking over for a woman who had worked there for 10 years and she kind of trained me for 2 days. Said, this is what I do, the rest you'll pick up on your own type of thing.
And just answer the phone, make the appointments, remember the patient is always right.
I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a process, and I think that probably what I did is have the audiologist come and work several weeks with me, and then have her work maybe a week where I was shadowing her, and then I said, goodbye, I'm going to have a baby.
My name is Larry Hutto. Our company is Chesapeake Hearing Centers in Maryland. I've been in business since 1975 on the East Coast, Maryland, Annapolis, Eastern Shore towards Ocean City. So we're spread out in about 100-mile demographic there. One time I was meeting with partners I had at that particular time, and it was about 9 o'clock at night. And I had been working really hard, you know, learning in the old days how to use spreadsheets and how to try and analyze the business and try and understand where the business had been and where we might go with it. And I was trying to come up with some ways to develop the business, increase the business, and understand what we were doing with it. And we were having a conversation, and I remember saying that at that particular evening, you know, I've been working pretty hard on this. I've been burning the midnight oil now for a couple of weeks to come up with this. One of them had said, I need to go home, it's getting late. And I said, yeah, but we're not done yet. We got to figure this out. I've been working on this really hard. And he looked me right in the eye and he said, well, but you really enjoy this, Larry. And at that instant, I knew that that partnership wasn't going to continue. That was difficult.
My name is Terry Buck, and I work for Anderson Audiology in Las Vegas. I never got the foundation. After 6 months, I had my review, and I said, I still don't get this. I still don't get the codes. I don't get, you know, what I was supposed to be doing.
I didn't tell them specifically what I wanted them to do and how to do it, and I didn't train them to do it. Managing by lack of managing is not very good managing.
That's the biggest thing. When I started the practice, I was an audiologist, not a business owner.
Well, if I could just do it all myself, I could do it. I mean, if I could answer the phone, schedule the appointments, see the patients, check them out, call them to confirm, send out the hearing aids, check them in. I mean, I can do that all. But obviously you get to a point where I can't do it all. And so you have to have some other people do it. And I don't think I've done a very good job of training them and work in concert together.
Kind of like an ostrich, you know, bury my head in the sand, and that feeling.
He had the ostrich approach to management, you know, bury his head in the sand type of thing, and I don't think there was strategic planning whatsoever. So
she's very, very good at what she does as far as patient care, but she openly admits that she never had any experience in accounting or marketing or management, really.
I had a front office person who was with me for 15 years. She was very loyal, and then just up and left and went to a competitor. But I didn't realize that I needed to be communicating with her about her needs, and I wasn't listening very well.
I thought, man, if I could just have a conversation with her, I could help her pay these bills, or I could help her, you know, but she was so busy and so doing everything and so in that survival mode that, you know, it didn't come to that point for a conversation like that.
I was of the mindset that we're so small, why do we need to have these meetings? This is your job, you just need to do it, and I'll do my job.
I do my thing, you do your thing, and and hopefully things work out by the end of the day.
You know, the doctor was very busy with what he was doing, and he was relying on other people to cover the bases for him, and it wasn't happening.
My name is Erin Rika. I work at Audicare Hearing Center. My boss was frustrated that the store wasn't doing as well and putting a lot more pressure on us to perform, and we didn't feel like we were being valued for what we were doing anymore. And it's like, well, we're doing the best we can. And he's like, well, it's not enough.
I'm Janice Gash. I live in Tucson, Arizona. I started my private practice in 1981. You know, I obviously didn't wake up one day and go, oh my gosh, I have 3 offices. I wonder where that came from. I mean, obviously, there was some plan besides the opportunity presenting itself. But I didn't bring my business skills and my leadership skills up at the same time as the business was growing.
But then the reality of it was that our business grew beyond its capacity for me to see all the patients and to see all the work that came through the doors, and that's when the seams begin to bust.
If I'm not there, there's no patient care and there's no money coming in. So I basically created a real nice job for myself, but didn't have a business.
To be honest with you, at that point, I was probably near burnout.
Everything was kind of folding up around her. She thought that, you know, something's got to get better or she's got to do something different.
My name is Crystal Chalmers. My practice is North State Audiological Services. I was blindly happy. I was just thrilled to death that I was doing it my way. I was having a good time. We were barely making it, but we eked our way out. I kind of smile now. My stepfather was my accountant, and the year I made $250,000, he said, that was very good. But, you know, you're not going to get much over that, so just, you know, relax a little bit. A few years later, it went to 400, and he said, now you're not going to get any larger than this, so don't set your sights on anything else. For 16 years, it had just been growing and then stable for at least 6, and I wasn't thinking there were going to be any problems, any issues, and we just hit a brick wall.
My name is Missy Bain. I'm the practice manager for Jean Armel's 3 practices in Indiana. My first introduction really to Audigy was the interview process.
I got a call one day.
And all of a sudden the phone starts ringing, hey, you got a call from Audigy, you got a call from these guys again.
Then we started getting calls from a representative of yours, and we said, no, you don't understand. We're really not interested because what you're doing, that's what we're gonna do.
Okay, I'm just gonna call this poor man back and tell him I'm really not interested. That's exactly what I did, and here I am today.
My name is Ken Stewart. I'm a husband and a father of 3, but I happen to own an audiology practice.
My name is Nora Stewart. My husband and I own a private practice in Fort Wayne, Indiana. In college, we said, well, if we're going to get married, let's do a little mom and pop store of some sort. Well, I was in audiology. He was studying business, then political science, and didn't like any of those. And he said, you know what, why not hearing aids? If we want to do a business, let's do a hearing aid business.
We had 3 small kids, so Nora was primarily staying at home, and so at least our providers was myself and a hearing aid dispenser. And we worked really hard, and we compensated him very well. And our business did anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million a year.
We were creating results, and we figured out, to us, it was pretty easy to create work. We could run an ad, we could treat people right, and we created a lot of audiology work.
We were selling more hearing devices. We had more patients coming in the door. Our revenues were bigger. We had more people, all indicators of a successful business, and we were less profitable. And so we're kind of scratching our heads saying, how can this be? Why are we working harder and making less money? And so then our big conversations was, what are we going to do about this? Because it can't keep going in this manner.
Finally, you guys were coming to Chicago, which was close, and we said, okay, we'll just come. And that way, we can hear you out, and then we can make an informed decision. So we got there, And then we saw, actually, you were the one that was speaking, and it was about mindsets and about systems and what that means. And it was like music to my ears. I went, this is everything I've been studying for the last 2 years, and you've implemented it. The difference was we were talking about it, we were starting to implement it, but there's a big difference between reading about it and thinking about it and then going into action and doing it. It's a scary leap of faith to do that. But it's not so scary if you have proven systems. So it was, you know, while we were creating systems, they weren't proven systems. You had proven systems.